Bonjour Year 9 and welcome to Lesson 6 of the spring term and of your home learning. Today you will be doing revision with Mr Bolis on what you've done so far this half term. And here's a list of the equipment you will need to get ready before the lesson. You will need your exercise book, a pen and a ruler, your Module 3 knowledge organiser, which is on class charts, and also the tri-weekly assessment link, which is on class charts, which you're going to complete at the end of the lesson when instructed by Mr Bolis. Pause to get that ready now. Press play when you're ready to continue. Thank you everyone for uploading all your work to class charts. I've been really pleased with the quality of work you've been doing and the progress you're making in French. Please do remember to upload evidence of all your completed work. So everything that you do in your exercise book, as well as anything you do online in Quizlet or any other activities at all. Please also make sure that you follow the indicated time of completion of each activity. So if you don't finish, just stop and move on to the next activity. There'll be no punishment, etc. for that. We just want you to complete the whole of the activities to the best of your ability in the time that you can do them. Okay, it's really important to cover all the activities because they've all got different purposes and they're all there to develop your learning. So if you do run out of time halfway through an activity, just move on to the next one. If you do have any questions, please email me, and here's my email address. And don't forget to upload your classwork within 24 hours in order to get a really well-deserved achievement point. Merci. As always, Year 9, let's start by writing the date in the top right-hand corner in French, and this can be found on class charts for today. Underline it neatly in your book, and then on the next line down in the centre, write the title, Révision, which is revision in French. Underline that neatly in your book. Then write down l'objectif, the objective, and today you'll be revising vocabulary on jobs and speaking a foreign language. Pause to do that now. Press play when you're ready to move on to the do now activity. Here's your do now activity. Don't spend any longer than 5 minutes on this. Please just translate the following sentences into French. There's no need to write the English as it's all revision and in your book already. Okay. For example, if you're asked to write, I want to watch TV, you're going to write, je veux regarder la télé. You're revising here the verbs vouloir and pouvoir. Okay, just write down the French. Pause now and press play when you're ready to check your answers. And here are your answers. Numéro 1. Tu veux regarder la télé. Have you written tu for you singular, and have you spelled veux correctly, V-E-U-X? Tick if you have, correct if necessary. 2. Elle veut regarder la télé. Have you spelled veut correctly with a T on the end? 3. Nous voulons regarder la télé. Have you spelled nous voulons correctly? 4. Je peux regarder la télé. Have you used the correct verb pouvoir, and have you spelled peut correctly, P-E-U-X? Pause if you need to at any point. 5. Vous pouvez regarder la télé. Did you remember to use you plural here, which is vous pouvez? Did you spell it correctly? And finally, 6. Ils peuvent regarder la télé. Have you used il for they masculine, and have you spelled peuvent correctly, P-E-U-V-E-N-T? Tick or correct your answers and pause now to do so, and press play when you're ready to move on to your lesson with Monsieur Bolis. And good luck with your assessment, and I will be on the last slide to give you some reminders. Have a good lesson. Merci. Au revoir.
For our first activity, we're going to do a reading comprehension. Firstly, we're going to read the text together. So I need your full attention now. Make sure you're looking at your screen and let's read the text together. Bonjour, je m'appelle Cédric et j'ai 13 ans. Mes parents veulent que je devienne informaticien, mais ce n'est pas mon truc. Je voudrais devenir comptable car les chiffres me fascinent et j'adore les maths. Aussi, je pense que ce serait bien parce que c'est un bon métier. Peut-être je voudrais également devenir ingénieur parce que ma mère est ingénieure. Mais sinon, je veux être vétérinaire car j'adore les animaux et je suis assez patient. Je dirais que si on veut être pilote, parler une langue étrangère est essentiel. Aussi, si on veut trouver un bon emploi, parler une langue étrangère est un plus. Finalement, si on parle une langue étrangère, on peut travailler dans un autre pays. À mon avis, ce serait génial. Now that you've read the text with me, let's answer the following questions about the text. Can you please write down numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in your exercise book and write down your answers. Now remember that you've got 10 minutes to complete that task. So after 10 minutes, you stop and you press play again to see the correction. Or if you finish earlier, press play and let's go through the correction together. So let's see the correction to those questions. Numéro 1. How old is Cédric? Cédric is 13 years old. You can see that in the very first sentence of the text. 2. What do his parents want him to become? Well, they want him to become a computer scientist. You can see that in the second sentence of the text. 3. Why does he want to become an accountant? And you had to find 3 reasons. Now, the 3 reasons were, he's interested in numbers, he loves math, and he thinks it's a good job. 4. Why does he want to be an engineer? Because his mother is an engineer. 5. Why does he want to be a vet? You had 2 reasons for that. Because he loves animals and he's patient. And the last one, give 3 reasons why, according to Cédric, speaking a foreign language is important. Number 1, it's essential if you want to become a pilot. 2, it is a bonus if you want to find a good job. And the last one, you or one can work in another country. So what I want you to do now, I want you to check all your work, make sure that you've got all the correct answers, give yourself a tick or a cross for each one of them. When you are finished, press play again for your next activity. For our next activity, let's dig a bit deeper into the text by finding the French of the following phrases. So this time, can I please ask you to copy those 14 phrases in your exercise book and then write down the French next to it. Now those phrases go in order of the text. So for example, if you find number 6, having trouble finding number 7 and I have found number 8, well, number 7 will be in between number 6 and number 8 in the text. So that should give you a bit of a help if you're stuck on any number. In any case, I've given you 10 minutes to complete this task. If you finish before, press play to see the correction. But if after 10 minutes you're still working on this, just stop it and then press play again and carry on with the lesson. So let's have a look at the correction. Numéro 1, I am 13 years old is of course j'ai 13 ans. 2. The answer was mes parents veulent que je devienne. Now be careful that you've got that exact phrase, then you can give yourself a tick or take the correction. 3. Ce n'est pas mon truc. Give yourself a tick if you found it. 4. J'adore les maths. That should have been an easy one to find in text. 5. Ce serait bien. give yourself a tick. Now maybe it's two words in French, peut être. Now you would have noticed that you know that peut is can, and you know that être is be. So in French you don't say maybe, you say can be. How interesting. 7. As well is également. It looks very much like equally in English. 8. Ma mère est ingénieure. Make sure that you've got that extra E at the end of ingénieur. 9. Otherwise, si non. Literally, if not. 10. Assez patient. 11. Je dirais que. Make sure that you didn't forget that que at the end to give yourself a tick. 12. Si on veut. 13. Un plus. One of the rare S's we pronounce at the end of French words. And the last one, à mon avis. Make sure that you got the accent on the A there. Press pause, double check your work, and then press play again to move on with the lesson. Now for our next activity, we've got a bit of a translation to do. So the first thing I want you to do is to write down numbers 1 to 16 in your exercise book. It will become clearer in a minute. Then I'm going to show you two texts, one in French, one in English. What I want you to do, I want you to write down what word should go in each gap. So here are the two texts. Now you can see that the text on the left is the text we've been working on in activities 1 and 2, and the text on the right is a translation, but there are gaps in each text. So if we look at number 1, Bonjour, je something Cédric et j'ai 13 ans. And if you got on the right, the sentence is, hello, my name is Cédric and I am 13 years old. What word do you think should go in the gap for number 1? If you've got the answer, write it down. If not, move to number 2, which will be an English word. You can now press pause, spend 10 minutes on it, or less if you finish earlier, and then press play to see the correction. Here is the correction to your work. You have now in front of you the two texts with the words in red that you'd have put in the gaps. Can you please take a couple of minutes to check your work? You can now press pause and then press play again to carry on with the lesson. So now is the time to complete your tri-weekly assessment. Now, before you click on the link on class charts, I want you to put all your learning materials to one side. When you've done that, press play again. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to click on the link. Not now. Let's go through the expectations first. Of course, I want you to spend 15 minutes completing as many boxes as you can. So you're going to be sent to a document. You're going to have different boxes to complete. Try to complete as many as you can during those 15 minutes. Now, it could be that you're finding it a bit hard, and actually, after 2 or 3 minutes, you think you've done everything and there's nothing else to do. Now, I'm allowing you to use your exercise book in that case. It is not cheating, and we'll talk about this in a minute, why it's not cheating. A reminder that at the end of this lesson, you will be receiving an achievement point for completing the classwork as well as the tri-weekly assessment to the best of your ability. So it doesn't mean that you need to do everything to perfection. It doesn't mean that you need to spend 2 hours on this work, but it means that you need to spend the hour of work on your French work and completing the tri-weekly. Now, to put things into context, please note the following. This tri-weekly assessment will not be graded, so you will not receive a developing, a progressing, or a mastery for it, but you will receive a score instead. Your teacher will look at your tri-weekly and use what the class has done overall as feedback for the next lesson. Yeah? So that means that your teacher will not mark your whole tri-weekly and give you feedback on your whole tri-weekly and give you a task to complete, but the following lessons you have, so lesson 7, will be a live lesson with your teacher. More details on the day of the lesson. Once again, your next lesson will be a love lesson, and it will be about feedback on your tri-weekly assessment. So Year 9, you can now start your tri-weekly assessment. Do not forget at the end of completing your assessment to click on the I am done button and then click OK after that when it is completed. Press pause and then press play when you're ready to finish the lesson.
Well done on your work in today's lesson, and well done for correctly completing your tri-weekly assessment in the new format today. Please do remember, I've received this, you will have sent it to me in the new format, so I have received this from you. So there's no need to take a photo of your tri-weekly assessment as it will be available to me, but I do want you to take photos of your do now and activities 1, 2 and 3 and to upload those to class charts for me so I can give you a well-deserved achievement point. Well done, Year 9. Look forward to seeing you next lesson. Merci. Au revoir.